In the last video, we added a custom widget for a search box. We discovered by default that the WordPress search form is not currently the best looking and could benefit from a little styling. We can create a custom search by adding a file into our theme called the searchform.php. We do this in the root of our project. So searchform.php, then open up this file. This search form will override the default WordPress form. Creating our own will allow us to add the form in by using Bootstrap classes to match the rest of our theme. So let's begin just as we would with any other regular form. We create the opening and the closing tag. We're then going to add an action attribute to our form. The action attribute is where we send the form data to be processed. In our case, since we're using WordPress, we're going to open up the PHP tags, close them off, and then inside here, we're going to send this to our home URL. We're going to send this to our home URL, which is our blog. We'll do this by echoing and then escaping any unwanted characters with escape URL. We can then pass in the home URL, passing in a / as a string. This is a GET request, so we can add this in as a method. Next up, we can construct our Bootstrap form by surrounding the inputs with a class of form group. This form group is going to have a label. This label is for our search. And then our Bootstrap classes of h4, and then font italic. This is because we're using a level 4 heading for the rest of the widget and also the italic text. We can add this label as the value of search. After this label, we'll then create our text input, which is going to be for our search. We can give this input a name, and this needs to be equal to the value of s. This name attribute of s is a required field by WordPress, so it knows where to grab the input value from. We then also need to add an ID of search, which will match our label. And then we're going to add a value, which is going to be PHP. So let's open up and close the PHP section. So for this value, we're going to use a WordPress function called the search query. Open up the brackets and the semicolon at the end. By adding the search query as a value, this will allow the text box to contain the value of the previous search input. We then need to add a class just after the PHP. This class is a Bootstrap class of form control. And then let's close this sidebar down, give this file a save, and then go over to the browser, reload. We can just test this is working. Let's search for is. And that all seems to work. And we can see up at the top, we have the value of s, which is the name of our input. And this is set equal to the word that we just typed in of is. So now our search form matches in with the rest of our Bootstrap styling. These results are displayed using a fallback index.php template. And next up, we'll create a custom template to display these results.